Welcome to the very first episode of Pour the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
And we're so excited to finally get this podcast off the ground. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. Yes, I can.
Yes,
I can
you can.
believe it. We've been talking about this thing for so long. I am so excited that the day is finally here.
It's definitely been a long time coming for sure. We love the Hallmark Channel and found ourselves watching it more and more every day.
I know. And some people would probably call us Hallmark junkies.
Hallmark junkies. That is probably a good term for us for sure. We always seem to have it on. We stop what we're doing. We get sucked in, especially you. I find you stopping and staring.
Let's wait a minute there. Yeah, you do catch me a lot. I feel like we always find ourselves, just talking about, what worked in the movie, what didn't work in the movie.
What we liked, what we didn't like, the cheesiness of it all. Sometimes, not all the time.
No, not all the times. The predictability and especially the life lessons.
There are quite a few life lessons. They're a little heartwarming.
Oh, yeah.
Heartwarming stories.
Mm-hmm.
Should we give a little bit of info about us?
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
Well, we've been married for almost 11 years. Our anniversary is coming up actually this month.
Woo-hoo!
And we have a blended family.
Yes.
Not our first go around.
No, it's not our first go around. We have 2 boys and 2 girls. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's kind of crazy because the boys are close in age and the 2 girls are close in age.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy how that worked out. And they're actually really close relationship-wise. Mm-hmm. Even though they're not blood. Blending a family is never easy and we're definitely not perfect, but it's great to see them all so close as adults.
I would call that being blessed.
Being blessed for sure. Oh, and we're empty nesters.
Yes. Queen.
We quite enjoy the empty nesting, I have to say.
Yes, we do.
We love them, but we also love the empty nest. So, because the kids are gone, we decided to take the plunge into podcasting because we love rom-coms on Hallmark so much. And we know that there are so many people who share our Hallmark enthusiasm.
There just has to be other people.
There has to be. I should mention here that we are not affiliated with Hallmark. We just really love their movies, their shows, and their stores. We go into their stores.
A lot.
We do. We like to mull around. Is it review time, you think, now?
Well, the wine is poured, so let's get it.
Spoiler alert, it's a Cab Sav. Ooh, we love Cab Sav.
Love some Cab Sav, people.
So today, what are we going to be reviewing?
Let's see. What was playing this past weekend? No. Today we're reviewing An Unexpected Valentine that aired on Saturday, February 2nd. This is the first of 4 all-new movies as part of Hallmark Channel's Love-You-ary.
Love-You-ary. Oh, I love Love-You-ary.
So why don't you hit us with a synopsis?
All right, here we go. A chance encounter on Valentine's Day brings Hannah and Finn together as they race through New York City to return a lost engagement ring and save one couple's special day. Starring the one and only Lacey Chabert as Hannah.
Lacey!
How cool is it that our first podcast review is a movie with the Queen of Hallmark?
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen. This is her 41st Hallmark movie.
That's awesome.
That's a lot. I was reading the other day that she teamed up with Hallmark and developed a product collection that will be launched during the 2025 holiday season. So things like wrapping paper, cards, entertaining pieces, glassware.
Ooh, glassware. Hope she's got some wine glasses.
Wine glasses would be
collection.
Great. We'll definitely be checking it out. That's for sure. Also starring Robert Buckley as Finn. His films last year were Blind Date Book Club and 'Twas the Date Before Christmas.
I love that one too.
we really like both of those for sure. But we know him best from
Chesapeake Shores.
Oh, we love that show.
He was the billionaire.
He was the billionaire.
I wish I was a billionaire.
Oh, Treat Williams. Moment. Oh. Now for the supporting cast. Jess Brown plays Gabby. She was in Santa Tell Me. last holiday season.
Oh, like that one.
The one with the 3 Nicks.
Yeah.
Princess Davis plays Nadine. She was in Holiday Road.
Ooh, that was another good one.
That was one that we really, really liked. Anthony Timpano plays Nate. And those are the 3 passengers in the rideshare when Lacey Chabert first gets
into the
rideshare, into the car.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Caitlin Stryker plays Annalisa, and that is a friend / co-worker of Lacey Chabert in the movie. She works in the marketing department, whereas Lacey works in the product development department.
Mm-hmm.
And Vincent Tong plays Levi. He is Robert Buckley's agent / friend.
Yes, he's the one I think owns the gallery where he hangs his photographs at.
Yeah. And I saw on his Instagram, he stated that it's his first time back in front of the camera in 8 years. And he's been acting a long time. Yeah, he has like over 100 acting credits.
He didn't miss a beat. That's pretty good. That is really good. Well, you ready for the first takes?
I am.
Take it away.
Get to it, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
I think Hallmark absolutely nailed it. I loved Lacey and Robert. I think they crushed it with their wit and their playful banter. I mean, I loved everything about this movie, all the stops. I'm honestly not sure I could have loved it more.
Yeah, I know.
And it might have taken over the number 1 spot as my favorite Hallmark movie ever. Do you know what it used to be?
Sugar Plum?
No, but I really like that one. That's a good guess. But no. We've talked about it.
What was the other one? The Christmas one where she went over to her boyfriend's house and
Christmas one. There are always Christmas ones.
I know. It was her first Christmas. She was Jewish.
Leah's Perfect Gift.
Yes.
Is that it? Yeah,
Leah's
that was a
Perfect
really
Gift.
cute one too. Oh my gosh, no. A Biltmore Christmas.
Oh,
I loved A Biltmore Christmas.
Man, but
this one, although it's not a Christmas movie, everything about it was great.
Yes.
For me.
I agree
Everything.
with you.
Plus, there were serendipity references all throughout. And we are crazy about the movie Serendipity.
Yes.
It is one of my all-time favorite movies.
All right. Let's take a little side trip here. You first introduced me to that movie, Serendipity.
I did.
Never seen it before, never heard of it.
Nope.
Starring John Cusack.
Kate Beckinsale.
And Kate Beckinsale, the 2 main characters. And I just remember that there's 2 of the scenes that really, really got to me. One of them was when he opened the gift from his fiance, and it was the book. Mm-hmm. Talk about a tear moment.
Literally one of the best scenes ever in a movie.
Very, very, very well
My
written.
heart raced. Yeah.
And then the second one was when he was laying in the ice rink or the roller skater rink as the snow was coming down, and the glove falls on his chest, and he stands up and he turns around, and there she is.
It's so great. And the glove takes forever to go down. That's probably the most unrealistic part of the movie because it floats for a long time.
She was probably like
fine.
20 yards away when she threw
the movie makes up for it.
But anyways, that's okay.
Yeah. But there are a lot of serendipity references throughout this movie, not the movie itself, but just about serendipity.
Yes.
And its meaning.
And it was very cool. And we relate to it.
What was your first take?
I too thought Hallmark did a really, really good job of putting these 2 together. I thought the chemistry was spot on. I loved the banter back and forth.
Totally.
While they were riding around New York in a car. I mean, can you imagine? That whole movie was shot basically with them 2 in a car.
In the car. And some stops along the way. Yeah.
And that right there tells you that the chemistry was there.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Lacey when she was outside the car. She had said something about a backward scavenger hunt. Yes. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yes.
And that was them tracing the drop-offs of the other passengers to find the owner of the ring. I thought that was really cool.
That was a really, really great formula for the movie.
And one other thing, it kind of reminded me of another movie, Phone Booth with Colin Farrell. Not the
That's kind of
not what happened in the movie, but the fact that that movie was shot with him inside that phone booth the entire movie. So I kind of felt
true.
I kind of felt like them riding around in New York for half, if not 3/4 of the movie. It just kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's my first take.
I can see that. Cool.
Yeah.
What about your favorite scenes? You want to dive into those?
Yeah, let's dive into those. You started off.
Well, I would have to start at the beginning. I've always been drawn into movies and films by their music, by the soundtracks. Always, always, always. So the first song in the opening scene, I thought was fantastic. I just loved it. So the movie really had me at that first song. And I had to look it up. It's called 1,000 Stars by Henry Parsley and Alan Ross. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced the Alan, because it's spelled Allyn.
Yeah,
So
people like to spell their names differently, but that's okay. And I agree. You are one for soundtracks.
I am.
You've always loved the soundtracks.
Always.
As a matter of fact, I think sometimes when we go to the movie, that's why you go to the movie. It's just to
I'm
hear
always
the soundtrack.
listening. Always
Especially
listening.
back in the 80s and the 90s.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But not so much nowadays. But
back then, like probably my favorite soundtrack, About Last Night. I knew all the words, all those songs. Yeah. There's another movie called Stealing Home. Not many people saw it. I think, in fact, I was probably the only one in the theaters with Mark Harmon and Jodie Foster. And I fell in love with the soundtrack. And in fact, David Foster.
Oh, David
Yeah,
Foster.
yeah, wrote a lot of the music and performed it, and it's just really, really great.
Whitney
So yeah, so
Houston.
music is a very big deal to me. So, they had me at that first song, 1,000 Stars. What about
Awesome.
you? What was one of your favorite scenes?
I think my first favorite scene was probably the convenience store. What I liked about it was, as they were walking through the store, picking out like water and snacks for his passengers, she was still trying to convince him.
She was
to go with her to find the person who the ring belonged to. And there was that one scene inside the store where they had stopped at the end of the aisle, and she had popped open the box with the ring in it, and this other customer had come around a different aisle, and she had a phone, and she was like, "Oh my God."
It was so cute.
So Robert in that scene played it so well.
He really did.
And the look on Lacey's face said it all. It was just so funny. So I really enjoyed that particular scene.
Yeah, I think he goes, "Yes, 100 times yes," or something like that.
Right.
And then he goes, "Post that," to the girl.
She's walking away. He was like, "Don't forget to post that."
It was cute.
So that's kind of funny.
That's probably one of my favorite scenes also. Yeah.
Well, what's another favorite scene of yours?
Actually, that was my second one. The one that you just, yep.
So what did you like about it?
I think another scene was the cop scene. I think because it surprised me. We always talk about Hallmark movies and how they can be predictable. And
Yes.
I expected the cop to escort them to their next stop, but I didn't expect the personal connection. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I should have been
was.
expecting
It
it,
was.
but I really, really wasn't.
I know, it's Hallmark. You got to expect everything.
I know. And the little cop car.
Oh, that was so funny. That was so funny. Them driving down the street and it's going, wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. And she goes, "Do you think that's a real siren?" And he's like, "No, you probably got it from Amazon."
That's what the banter is so good throughout the movie. And that little cop car in big New York City was hysterical to me.
What did you call the little cop car?
Little meat.
That's a good description. Little meat.
Yeah. Maybe they're all like that now in New York City. I don't know.
Right.
What about you? Do you have another one?
I think my second favorite scene was the bar scene.
Yeah, that was such a great scene.
Moonlit bar. What I liked about it was they both had to go through the bouncer. They both had to talk their way in. But it was
individually,
at
separate times,
in the scene. And it reminded me back in the 80s. Yes,
Speaking of the
80s. My buddy and I, we used to bar hop all the time. And I'm sorry, but we always knew the bouncers, so we were the ones who
You got to go to the front of the line. You're the ones who always got to go. Okay.
Well, we always took care of the waiters and the waitresses when we were in there, and they got to know us, and that was one of the perks.
Lots of tips.
Treat people
bribe
the
your
way
way
you
in.
want. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that when they actually met up inside, when they finally got to get together with each other, Lacey had waited for him because he was like, "So did you talk to her? Is it her ring?" And she was like, "No, I waited for you. You're like my ride or die."
Oh,
and
I know.
thought that was cute.
I know. Well, you got to talk about the biggest 80s moment in that scene.
Oh, yes, the biggest 80 moment. So they're getting ready to leave the bar, and she decides to pull him onto the dance floor. And as they're walking onto the dance floor, a song starts to play. Do you know what song that was? Do you remember?
I know what song it was.
What was it?
Love Shack. Baby Love Shack.
The B-52s. So talk about an 80s moment. Oh, wow.
And who didn't love dancing to Love Shack?
Yes, that
back
was
in
a
the
fun
day. And
song.
still.
That was a fun song to dance to.
Roof.
89, I think that song came out.
89. Yeah. Oof.
Yep.
Dating us again.
So what was your next favorite scene?
I'd have to say the balloon scene.
Oh my
where they
goodness.
pick up all they one of the stops is to pick up the balloons and then deliver them, and the amount of balloons that are in the car are just ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
And it almost covers up Lacey Chabert, and it just reminded me when our kids graduated before one of the parties, we went to pick up balloons and we had my sister in the car. So it was just you and me and my sister, and she was in the back seat, and you could barely see her face because all the balloons were around. It was almost exactly like that scene. So that's probably why that was one of my favorite scenes, because that was real life. Yep, we do have a picture. That was real life.
Maybe if we can find that, we'll post it on our social media site.
Maybe. Yeah, I have to find it.
That's funny.
How about you? Do you have any others that you wanted to?
I think my last favorite scene was when they actually found the person who had lost the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were having dinner, and they were waiting for the fireworks, and the guy had just at that moment realized he didn't have the ring.
Right.
And that's when Lacey and Robert walked in, and they were trying to get his attention, and Lacey was like, like fake coughing, which was
trying to get his. That's right. Trying to get his attention.
Bad, but it was funny.
But it was good. Yeah.
And then they got his attention. They went into the bar area. They gave him the ring, and he was so thankful. He went back to the table, and right before the fireworks, he had proposed. He got on one knee and he proposed to her, and that kind of hit home because when I proposed to you, I actually kind of did the same thing. We went to Disney down in Florida, Magic Kingdom, and right before the fireworks started, I got down on one knee and I proposed to you.
Yeah, it's very, very similar. Except you didn't lose the ring.
I didn't lose the ring, but let me tell you, the whole day walking around that park with that ring in my pocket, afraid that if we got on a ride, I was going to lose it. I was terrified.
I was impressed. I was impressed that you kept that thing
terrified. But if I had lost it, I would have still done the proposal.
And I might not have said yes.
I know.
Without the ring.
You're like, where's the ring? Are you serious, dude, right now? Where's the ring? And then I would have told you, and you would have laughed, and it would have been
part of our story, like they said.
Happy ever after.
Yep.
But what about you? Did you have another scene that you liked? Nope, that was it?
No, okay. Let's move on to Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. No, I tried to look for them. I tried to look for that cameo shot.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any.
I'm terrible at finding those in movies. I know so many people are really good at finding those, and I'm terrible. I notice little things sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the serendipity references. There was some music that reminded me of certainly it wasn't from Serendipity, but it reminded me of it.
Right.
There was a part where Lacey says, "Of all the cars I could have gotten into."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's very reminiscent of another quote from a very famous movie. Do you know?
No, I don't.
What the movie is?
But you're very good at at that kind of stuff.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns and all the world. That quote? No?
Casablanca.
Still no? Yes. Do you know who said it? The actor.
Humphrey Bogart.
Yes. Ooh,
look at
I'm
me.
impressed.
Ding, ding,
You usually
ding.
don't get
Winner,
those.
winner, chicken dinner. Woo.
So that would be an Easter egg. I guess it's not really a Hallmark Easter egg, but for me, it was something kind of cool.
Yeah.
I picked up on that right away.
Yeah, I didn't find any. I was kind of sad because a lot of the movies that we had been watching, they had a lot of cameos from other actors.
Right.
But that's okay. You know, we didn't find any.
Yeah.
So, let's move on to cheers and jeers. So what was your biggest cheer?
The whole thing. The whole thing. I just loved the whole thing. It goes back to what I talked about the first take. I just think between Hallmark and, Lacey and Robert, I mean, they just crushed it with their wit and their playful banter. I think it's going to rank up there as one of the best Hallmark movies. I just really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
From start to finish. The scavenger hunt aspect.
Yes, that was
all
fun.
Throughout New York City. You can't beat New York City as a backdrop.
Yeah.
Really. And I also really liked, another cheer for me would be the role reversal during the car scene when the car broke down or the battery light came on.
Yes. Oh, yes. The battery scene where.
Yeah. And he didn't really know anything, but she did.
Yes.
She knew something. And that reminded me of, my cousin Vinny.
Oh, yes.
Where Marissa Tomei's character, she knows everything about cars and that helps, win the case really. And so I just really enjoyed the whole thing and that little tidbit of the car scene. I liked that the female knew what she was doing and talking about because it does happen.
Yes, it does. And it's funny you mentioned my cousin Vinny because you always go around and go, imagine you're a deer.
Yeah.
That's like the famous quote in that movie, right?
Yes. One of them. Yeah. So what was your biggest cheer?
Like you, I really loved the whole concept of them driving around on a scavenger hunt. And in between stopping off to get some flowers, stopping off to get some balloons.
Oh yeah, the flowers were huge.
They were so huge. They were so big. They like covered all of Lacey. It was so funny. And the chemistry inside the car, I thought they just did an excellent job. And it was almost like they have done 100 movies together.
Yes.
It was they just jived that well.
The flow was
the flow was awesome.
So great. So great.
So what was your biggest jeer?
I didn't really have a big jeer. The only thing that I noticed, and this is just a little tiny thing, when she first got the ride share and she went out to it and she said, are you Finn?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they tell you for safety reasons, let the driver address you. And right. I mean, it was cute. There were other people in the car, so obviously it was a ride share, but that would be if I had to choose a jeer, that would be the only one.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. What about you? Did you have any jeers?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
I call it the Hallmark weather.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it starts during the holidays, during Christmas time. The Hallmark snow. How it's always snowing, but it's not accumulating. The actors don't get it on their clothes. Well, I think Hallmark just created Hallmark rain.
Hallmark rain.
Yes.
That was
because there were throughout the whole movie, it's raining. And then some of the scenes, there was when they did the cookie truck for her sister.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yes.
They were walking up, it's raining, but then when they get there, they're not wet. They're not, in the rain. There's a couple other ones
there's a scene where they pull up in the loading zone.
Oh, yes.
I forget which loading zone that is, but it's raining all around them and they get out and there's no rain and it's so clear. There's a tarp.
Yeah, because they get out and they go behind the car. And then he opens up the back of the car.
Yes.
And they're not wet at all. And there's no rain where they are, but you can see in the background, it's just like pouring down rain. So that's my jeer. But you know what? I still love the movie.
Oh, so great.
Yeah.
So we will rate movies and shows out of corks.
Yes, corks.
Out of 5 corks.
I wonder why.
A little wine.
Wine.
So how many corks would you give this
I'm
movie?
going to give it, drum roll, 5 corks.
Same.
Same.
And it shouldn't be surprising after listening to the review from
Yes.
us.
I just really loved
Our first
it.
review. Yes. And we'll be honest.
Yeah, and
about
even though,
everything.
the
Everything's not
Hallmark
gonna be-
rain, I still got to give
Despite
it
the
5
rain,
corks.
despite the Hallmark weather,
Yeah.
you're giving it 5 corks. Same.
Well-
They knocked it out of the park with this one, really. So
they-
it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of Love You Wary goes.
You love you,
after
Mary.
this.
Well, that's a wrap for our very first episode.
Yay!
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast, follow us on social media, and if you really, really like the show, leave a 5-star review. And if you didn't really, really like this show, leave a 5-star review.
Join us next week when we review The Wish Swap, which airs Saturday, February 8th. Until then, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Cheers.